Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Jaya Radha Rasbihari Radha Rasbihari Radhe Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Bhakta Hanuman Sita Ram Lakshman Bhakta Hanuman Jayo Bala Gopal Jayo Bala Gopal Bala Gopal Jaya Bala Gopal Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Subhadramai Jaya Sudarshanam Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Gurudev Prabhupada Srila Gurudev Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Tagore Hari Bol. Hey Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, today we are just gonna discuss from verse 54 to 56 from chapter 2. So let's read verse 54. Arjuna vacha stita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava stitadhi kim prabhasheta kimasita vrajetakam. Arjuna vacha stita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava stitadhi kim prabhasheta kimasita vrajetakam. Arjuna vacha stita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava stitadhi kim prabhasheta kimasita vrajeta kim. Hey Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Renuga Mataji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Arjuna Vacha Sita Pratyasya Kabhasha Samadhi Tasya Keshava Sita Dihi Kim Prabhasheta Kimasi Prajeta Kim.
You can read the translation also. Nobody has come so far.
What are the symptoms of one whose consciousness is thus merged in transcendence? How does he speak and what is his language? How does he sit and how does he walk? Hare Krishna.
Hey Krishna. Verse 55. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Prajahati Yada Kaman Sarvan Parthamanugatan Atmanyevatmanaktushta Stita Prajnasya Taduchyate. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Prajahati Yada Kaman Sarvan Parthamanugatan Atmanyevatmanaktushta Stita Prajnasya Taduchyate. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Prajahati Yada Kaman Sarvan Parthamanogatan Atmanyevatmanaktushta Stita Prajnastaduchyate. Hey Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Only Sri Bhagavan Vacha Prajahati Yada Kaman Sarvan Parthamanogatam Atmani Eva
Tushta.
Eva
Atmana Tushta.
Sita Prajnastaduchyate.
Can read the translation also.
The Blessed Lord said, O Partha, when a man gives up all varieties of sense desire which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Right.
Hare Krishna, verse 56. दुःखेष्वानुद्विग्नमना सुखेषु विगतस्पृहा वीतरागभयक्रोधा स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते दुःखेष्वानुद्विग्नमना सुखेषु विगतस्पृहा वीतरागभयक्रोधा स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमना सुखेषु विगतस्पृहा वीतरागभयक्रोधा स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते दुःखेष्वानुद्विग्नमना सुखेषु विगतस्पृहा वीतरागभयक्रोधा स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते. Hare Krishna.
Right, Hare Krishna. Yes, Snigdhammaji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
Hare Krishna.
दुःखेषु अनुद्विग्नमनः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
Very good. Yes, Redgamalaji.
दुःखेषु अनुविघ्नमनाः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहाः वितरागभयक्रोधाः स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते.
Right. Translation also you can read.
One who is not disturbed in spite of the threefold miseries, who is not elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of steady mind.
Right.
Hare Krishna. So, in verse 54, here Arjuna is asking a question to Lord Krishna. Arjuna said, "O Krishna, what are the symptoms of one whose consciousness is thus merged in transcendence? How does he speak and what is his language? How does he sit and how does he walk?" So before here Krishna is asking, in last verse we can see, then you will have to attain the divine consciousness. So here Krishna is already asking him to be Sthita Prajna. So Arjuna is asking his doubt, like, what are the symptoms of a Sthita Prajna? And the second question which he is asking is, how does he speak? Third question is, what is his language? And then how does he sit? And sorry, 5 questions. How does he sit and how does he walk? These 5 questions are being asked by him. Arjuna is asking Krishna. So the first question that about the symptoms which Arjuna asked, Krishna is answering it in verse 55. And then the second question, that is, how does he speak? That is, how does Sthita Prajna speaks? The answer to it, Krishna gives in verse 56 and 57, in these both verses. And in the third question, speak and language, about the question which Arjuna is asking about, how does he speak and what is his language? These two answers, questions answer is answered in verse 56 and 57. And then how does he sit and walk, from 58 to end of the chapter. So now let's see. Okay, before that, Arjuna is asking about the symptoms, and totally when someone says, like, if I am describing a person, so automatically if I'm just coming and saying about a person, so like sometimes you might ask me, like, how does he look? How is his attire? How is he tall or is he short? Like, we do ask such description. Similarly, even we can feel that here Arjuna is asking so to Krishna, that what are his symptoms, how does he speak, what is his language, and how does he sit and walk. So it doesn't mean that about the language and all which he is asking, whether he speaks Russian language or Chinese or Malayalam or English. It's not such a question. And how does he sit, the question which is asked, it's not like is he sitting in a chair or in a plane. It's not such a question. It has a different meaning, which we might already know that. So yeah, and we are just going to discuss that too. So here, what are here in sorry, before that in purport it's clearly given that symptoms of a rich man is like he might be coming in a very posh car, like in BMW. He might be just traveling. He might be having like a great suit and coat, and like we can understand by a look we can understand he's rich or poor. At the same time, if a person is coming totally like in a very shabby dress, totally torn, and he has not he didn't have any food for quite a long time, so we can understand, okay, he's a very poor person. At the same time, if a person is sick, at that we can also understand that that person is sick. So similarly, Arjuna is asking that how can we understand like the or what are the symptoms, or how can we understand a sthita prajna? So here, in the last line of this purport, second last and last line, means the answer is very like shortly given. The immediate symptom of a Krishna conscious man is that he speaks only of Krishna and of matters relating to him. So here's Sthita Prajna. Before that, I didn't mention. Sthita Prajna means one who is suited and is fixed in Krishna consciousness. So the immediate symptom of a Krishna conscious man is that he speaks only of Krishna and matters relating to him. Other symptoms then automatically follow as stated below. So now let's read verse 55. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said. So from this verse, Krishna is answering all the questions which Arjuna asked. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O Partha, when a man gives up all varieties of desire for sense gratification, which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind, thus purified, finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. So it is the answer for the first question, which the symptoms which Arjuna had asked. So here, Krishna is saying to give up all variety of desires. So do you think that it is possible to give away all our desires? Is it possible for us, like humans, can just say, okay, I just don't want anything, I am just going to give up all my desires? Is that possible? Here Krishna is asking. So yes, Mataji can just reply for that. Renuka Mataji.
It's difficult to suddenly give up all
Pardon me?
desires. It's a little difficult to give up all your desires.
Yeah, it's very difficult. At the same time, what answer do Singha Mataji have?
Yes, it is very difficult to leave all the desires.
Yeah. So here Krishna is saying, so we have to do that, right? So are you ready to give up?
Yes, we are trying.
Okay, fine. So here Krishna is asking us to live all our desires, but it's not that completely we can just leave the desire. It's not possible for a human. But it's like Krishna is saying some particular types of desires are to be only left behind. Like for our sense gratification, we have a great list, right? A great list of desires. Like, okay, I want a very luxurious flat, or I want a very luxurious whatever. We might be having a very great list. Such things can be left. Even without luxurious flat, we can just live. But here, Krishna is asking, desire. You can desire, but it should be for Krishna. Like, what example can I give for that? If you are having a desire if you're having a desire to have a very special, like some kind of food, you can have it. Like, okay, you just have that food, cook that prasadam, offer it to Krishna and have it. That desire is like, it is such desires are in Krishna consciousness. At the same time, as I said before, you can have a luxurious flat, there is nothing wrong in it, but in that flat there should be a very space for whom? Is that for us or for
Krishna.
it should be for whom?
For Krishna.
Yes, for Krishna. When I just said this example, I'm recollecting one incident. So once when Prabhu and Mataji, I think they were in Boston or something, they in their house, they are having one room for Krishna, and one room they are having one room for themselves. In Krishna's room, in the temple room, the AC got destroyed. So it took some 2 to 3 days. It was not working. So they decided that okay, since Krishna, it is very difficult for Krishna to sit in that hot. It's very hot. So let's put on our AC and keep the door open so that air or that cool air will be there for Krishna. So actually, do you think the thing which or the option which they have chosen to keep the door open was correct or not?
Correct.
Or
Correct.
otherwise
It is.
they could do something else too.
No, it is correct.
It's correct, but okay, what Renuka Mataji has to say? Do you have anything?
By keeping the door open alone, the Krishna will, I mean,
Okay, fine. So actually, it's if we say okay, yeah, they were considering Krishna also at that time, so that's why they kept a door open. But instead, they could do like that. AC could be placed in the temple room, and they could keep the temple room's door open, and that cold air could be like they could just sleep in that. Even so, which do you think is the best, or which we must do? Is the second one or the first one?
second one.
Yes, second one. So that is what about the desires. When we say we have a desire to sleep, automatically we'll be having a desire like it's very hot, so I must like at least a fan is required. But the first consideration always has to be given to Krishna. Then only that is what is the symptom of Sthita Prajna. That is what the answer here is. So, and one more thing, it's not like all of a sudden, okay, I just dedicated something to Krishna. So that's why all of a sudden I want happiness in my life, or all the troubles has to be gone. It's not like that. Means everyone is like, okay, I'm just giving up all my desires, I'm totally devoting to Krishna, so I just don't want any trouble. As automatically, as humans, such thoughts might come to our mind, but it's slow and gradual process. So desire, we have to fulfill the desires of Krishna. Means and like Krishna, whatever Krishna has said is there in this Bhagavad Gita. We have that Bhagavad Gita as it is, and we have the guru, like authorized gurus to help us out. So that path has to be chosen. It's not like all our desires, like okay, I want to do in this way, I'm doing this for Krishna and all such. For Krishna, whatever you're doing is okay, but not for your own desires. And okay, the point which I wanted to say is now, as I've said, whatever the desires which you have is to be done for Krishna, or you have to follow the desires of Krishna. As here, Krishna had ordered Arjuna to just fight. So it is the desire of Krishna, so Arjuna has to do that. So here we might think, okay, Krishna is asking to kill others, so it's a very like it's not a good thing to kill others. But whatever Krishna is saying, there will be a good intention for that. It's like when in the case of a child, he'll always hear his parents. If others come and say, okay, you just go and do this, he will not hear. Only when parents say, he will hear, because he knows that always my parents, whatever my parents are saying, they are just going to say for my good to happen. At the same time, when a doctor says, okay, when we are with some diseases, we are just approaching the doctor, so doctor might be saying, just follow this diet, just have this medicines, just don't have such particularly this kinds of food are to be avoided. So automatically we are just going to follow that, because we know that doctor is saying all this for our good. Similarly here, if we are asked to follow the desires of Krishna, it is for our good. He is not just going to say anything for our bad. So that is why it's asked to act according to the desires of Krishna. So our personal, like the desires for our sense gratification are to be avoided. So that is what is the symptom of Astita Prajna. Now in verse 56. In verse 56, one who is not disturbed in mind, even amidst the threefold miseries, or elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of steady mind. So here, the first sentence of purport also I would like to read. The word Muni means one who can agitate his mind in various ways for mental speculation without coming to factual conclusion. So, when the word Muni comes in our mind, we'll be having like, okay, as here first asked by Arjuna, we at a look we can understand, okay, he is a Muni. There are some things to mention him as Muni. So, what do you like? What is the concept in your mind? How a Muni should be? Can I just know that?
He should be, most of them, they'll be wearing khadi dress.
Mataji, I couldn't hear clearly.
Muni, usually they'll be wearing dress.
She should be wearing saffron, she says.
Okay, saffron dress, yeah. Okay, that is a symbol of a Muni. And yeah, Singha Mataji.
He should be knowledgeous. Muni, matlab, he should be knowledgeous.
Yeah, he should be having knowledge about what?
Knowledge about the knowledge about the Lord or Supreme.
Yeah, yes, I got it. Yeah. So we find a lot of Munis in our daily life also when we just go out. Recently, I had gone once when I had gone out. A person, I was just in a shop. So one person has said to be a Muni. He was wearing saffron dress with a very long beard, a long hair, with lot of like chandan and all in his forehead and all. And he was coming, and the person who was sitting there in the accounts, he just came there and asked for some money. And said that, and he was saying something else also, like, okay, show your hand, I will just say about your future and all, he was asking. And then she refused to give the money, and she refused totally, like, oh, I just don't want, and she just refused for that. So he just totally said, okay, you're not just going to be like, he was something like Shaba, we say, you're not just going to have anything good in your life, and all like that way, something which when we hear is very painful. Yeah, he just did said so. So he said, as in a look, he is a Muni. So is that Muni supposed to say so? So here, Muni is not like someone who is wearing saffron dress, who is having a like very great beard with a lot of like chandan and attire, and not only about the attire. When he opens his mouth and says something, it's sometimes it will be totally rubbish. Like, I am the supreme. You have to follow me. Whatever I say, you just have to follow. So we can't term them as Muni. It's not like actual Muni, duplicate Muni, we can say. So, we can't just see them as Munis. So, but here and but a Stita Dhir Muni, as mentioned herein by Lord, is different from an ordinary Muni. So, it's different from an ordinary Muni. Like we can term it as a Vaishnava, a Krishna Bhakta. That is what we can just, yeah, Stitadhir Muni. Stitadhir Muni is always in Krishna consciousness, for he has exhausted all his business for creative speculation. He's so for he is always in Krishna consciousness. He is following whatever he says. It won't be rubbish like I am the supreme. Such things can't be heard from a Vaishnava, from a Krishna Bhakta. He will always be engaged in Krishna consciousness, doing the service of Krishna. Such a person we can call actual Muni. We can term him. So. Not only that, he will give the knowledge as it is. Means the actual knowledge will be given. It's not that there are other munis also who just do totally like at the same time. If we take the case of Bhagavad Gita itself, they will be totally saying all the rubbish things and teaching us. He might not be saying that, okay, I am not the supreme. He might not be saying so, but totally they might not be giving the actual knowledge. So here one example of Muni which we can give, the Vaishnava is our Guru Srila Prabhupada. So he gave us the actual teachings of Lord Krishna in a correct order, which it's not like he has written, Prabhupada, he has written all the things which came to his mind and he's teaching. No, it was all whatever Krishna said to Arjuna, and in that parampara, what Krishna said, the same thing Prabhupada has given us in this Bhagavad Gita and taught us. So, in that exact Guru parampara, so such a person we can just say that we can call as Muni. And other thing is one who is not disturbed in mind even amidst the threefold miseries. So, which are these threefold miseries? Can anyone say?
आध्यात्मिक, आधिदैविक और आधिभौतिक.
Actually, Prabhu, it's Raga, Bhaya and Krodha, right?
Pardon?
Raga, Bhaya and Krodha.
No, that is threefold miseries. What she says, right? Adhyatmik, Adibaudik, and Adidevik. You asked the threefold miseries, no?
Yes, but we just term them as this Adhyatmik, Adibaudik, other name also we do call them.
Yeah, that is there. That is the second line calls for Vidaraga Bhaya Krodha. But dukkha means misery. The first line, dukkeshu anidignamna, dukkha means misery. And misery are termed as threefold. Adhyatmik, Adibaudik, and Adidevik. Adhyatmik, as you know, is pertaining to your body and mind.
Yes. Sorry, it was my mistake. So, about this Raga, Bhaya and Krodha has to be avoided. Means this Raga means Asakti. We do have like Asakti to attachment. Yes, attachment, fear, and okay. Oh, sorry, it was my mistake. It's so attachment. That has to be avoided. Attachment to Krishna is okay, but attachment to other things. And before slokas also about the attachment we have discussed. And at the same time, Bhaya. Why are we afraid of anything? Like if we are just going if we are traveling in a vehicle, all of a sudden we are meeting with an accident. So like automatically there will be a Bhaya in our mind. Okay, am I just going to die? What will happen to me? That Bhaya will be there. But a Krishna conscious person will not at all be afraid of that, because only my body is just living. So at that time, what will he do? Okay, it's my Krishna conscious person will at that the mind has, okay, if this is my last moment, okay, let me just chant more the name of Krishna. So Krishna devotee will be always thinking so. And krodha, that is anger. Like in our life, if something which we are doing, if there some failure happens in that, we'll totally like will be in an anger mode, right? So but here a Krishna conscious person will not at all have, he will balance all these things. Like as we said before, equipoised state, a Krishna conscious person will not be disturbed with all these things. And at the same time, happiness, if he's having any happiness, it's very difficult for us to control the happiness. We can control the sadness, okay, we'll keep our sadness in our mind, we'll try to hide that, let others do, let other, if I'm just like sadness is there in my face, others will know, so what will they think, such kind of thoughts come to our mind. But when it comes to the case of happiness, it's totally difficult for us to control it. We are very much excited how to enjoy or how to like let others know, we'll try to do that. But a Krishna conscious person does not do like that. Another one more thing, one example is like when, as I said, the difficulties which comes in the life of Krishna conscious person. One example is like when a devotee is cutting the vegetables, so suddenly his hand is having a small cut while chopping the vegetables. So what will we think? Okay, or like, oh, my hand has cut. It's like, oh, sometimes what will happen if my what will have been happened if my totally this finger would have been cut, and we'll be like, okay, my blood is flowing very much, like totally we'll be like anxiety, or what, I am not getting that correct word, totally we'll be in bhaya, we'll be afraid, a tense or a tension will be there. But at the same time, a devotee will be thinking, okay, it's just a small cut. My hand would have been cut because I'm following or doing the service of Krishna. Krishna has saved me from like a very big incident to a small cut. That will be a way of thinking of a Krishna conscious person. So, yeah, that's all, Prabhu.
Right. Okay. The examples have been very good. Especially that example of the Boston devotees was very good. Right. You can mention that this Parambara, Sri Parambara Yamnacharya Chakina, it's not given there. He has not mentioned that. Prashant Nishesha Manorathantaram. That is a, Siddha Prajna Muni is in Krishna consciousness. For he has exhausted all his business of speculative creation. It's called Prashant Nishesha Manorathandara. Is given a puppet.
Yes,
that is a sloga, Stotratna, which is compiled by Yamunacharya. One of our, it's not from our Parambara, it's from Sri Parambara. Sri Parambara of Ramanacharya. Ramanacharya's spiritual master is Yamunacharya. So Yamunacharya is very famous, and Srila Prabhupada has quoted him so many times. In verse 60 or 59 also, you can find a quotation from him on verse 60. Yadovi Kaunteya. In that also, Yadadabi Mamana Mana Krishna Padara Vindayo. That verse, that is also from Yamunacharya. And verse and chapter 7 also, you'll find quotations from Yamunacharya. So that is a very good verse. He says, Prashanta means one who is especially calm. Normally people say Shanta. Shanta means calm, equipoised. But Prashanta means because of his continuous seva, because his continued devotional service to Krishna, he becomes totally calm, serene, and equipoised. Is gain Bhavandam Eva Anucharan Nirantaram. Because I am eternally following, always rendering devotional service to you, Prashantam Nishesha Manorathandana. Prashanta means special diaphragm, totally equipoised, completely subduing the agitations of the mind. Manoratha means manokalpa, concoctions, agitations. These agitations are completely subdued because of devotion service. Kadaham ekanta kinkara. When I can be your exclusive servant. Bharashayashami sanada jividam. How can I enjoy a blissful life under protection of Krishna? So once Srila Prabhupada was going down morning walk in New York or some place with all his devotees. And on the street, they found several dogs. One of the dog was having a belt. Other dogs were not having belt. Belt means collar. So Srila Prabhupada asking, what is the significance of the person, of the dog who is having the collar? So devotees could not really understand the kind of question. And they said, okay, Srila Prabhupada then said that, okay, it means that the dog has got an owner. He's got a master. This dog who is wearing the collar, that means he has got a master. Others don't have a master. The same way, if you have a collar, we can be a dog of Krishna also. You can dog of Vaishnava also, no problem. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, one of our acharyas, he says that in his praise, he said that in his next life, he will be very happy if he can be a dog in a Vaishnava's house. So Vaishnava, dog with a collar means he's always under protection. So devotee is always under protection of Krishna. So thank you very much, Mataji. Very nice class. Right. Sigda Mataji, I think you can render Narasimha Kirtan.
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
Yes.
Namaste Narasimhaya Praladadadayine Hiranyakashipurvakshaha Shilatankanakhalai Ito Narsinho Bharato Narsinho Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsinho Bahir Narsinha Hridaye Narsinha Narsinhamadi Sharanam Prapadi Tabakara Kamalavare Nakhamadbhuta Sringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubhrungam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Narsinhadev 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 Jaya Narsinhadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Sarva Vigna Vinasha Shri Nrsimha Mahaprabhu Bhagwan ki jai. Om Ugrang Birang Mahavishnum Jyolantam Sarvatomukham Nrsingham Bhishanam Bhadrang Mrityu Namamyaham Jai Nrsimha Sri Nrsimha Jai Jai Sri Nrsimha Prahladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bhrunga.
Thank you. Vacha kalpadruvescha kripa sindhu evacha
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo.
Ananda Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Namacharya Das Thakur ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Tagore Premanand ki.
Hari Bol.